Lifestyles, welcome back to the series Before the Locks, Healing from the Inside Out. We are on episode 3, where we are talking about the link between chemical relaxers and our reproductive health. Okay, so in today's series, we're going to be talking about the science behind chemical relaxers, what are actually in relaxers, and how they may be affecting our reproductive system. Chemical relaxers contain ingredients like lye, sodium hydroxide, or no-lye formulas, formaldehyde, phthalates, parabens, also known as EDCs, endocrine hormone cancers. Okay, Lockstar, so as in the graphics that I have shown you guys, showing how some of these EDCs disrupt our hormones, some of them, some of the links that are included in these hormone disruptions are, some examples are early puberty, as I talked about before, the uterine fibroids, endometriosis, and then also we have hormone-sensitive cancers that are also linked to us using these relaxers, okay? And of course, they predominantly affect us, African-American women. Why? Because we are the ones who are exposed to it the most. We are the ones who use chemical relaxers the most. And also we have some systematic factors that are included in that. And what are those type of things? Like, they don't have the education and research around helping us to get rid of these type of things, educating themselves enough in order for them to help us in a way that we deserve and need to be helped. And also keep in mind, guys, as I'm sure you all may have experienced at one point or another, your scalp burns, your chemical burns from relaxers. I know for certain that I've experienced them. So the relaxers are going to cause that if they're kept on your hair too long. This also causes inflammation in our bodies. And also, of course, when you have these burns and all of these type of things, and as we continue to put the relaxers on, that's going to increase our risk of absorption of these chemicals in our bloodstreams through these burns and different things that happen to our body due to the use of chemicals. And then, of course, the earlier you start, the more chances and the higher risk you are of being affected with all of those different things that we just discussed. So just keep that in mind, guys, because we are just, it's like we're going backwards, okay? It seems like the more information that we have out here, it's like we're ignoring it, and then like the younger and younger, like, we're going ahead and utilizing these things on our kids and all of that kind of stuff. And so you're just increasing the risk of them having difficulties down the line. So that is something to think about. Okay, guys, so with all of that said, we actually do have some solutions, some tips, all right, that we can utilize that are at our hands today. For one, we do have more education out there, and I am doing this series which you can have people watch, and they'll definitely get all this information. But some of the tips are, you can use less harmful products or alternatives to, like, say, hair color, right? So back in the day, I used to use hair color, right? So now, instead of using the chemical box colors that I used to use, I use hennas, right? And so I was discouraged at first because I was like, oh, all you get is kind of like this little orangey color and all this other kind of stuff. And then I would do a two-step process. So I would do the color, like where I would get this henna color, but then I would do black on top. And I never even thought to think, well, you know what, maybe I can use this orange color as a highlight and it'd be totally natural. And so until one day I did it, and didn't have the time to put the black on, and ended up going outside and ended up getting compliments. And most people were like, oh my God, you colored your hair. What color? And I was like, okay. So it was like serendipitous, as they say, because I just kind of came across it by accident. I wasn't trying to do this, like, because I had planned on actually coloring it the next day, but I just ended up being like, okay, so that's going to be my natural alternative to giving myself some highlights. And I ended up liking it. So it's different things like that that you can utilize, like different type of alternatives. So using henna is one alternative that you can consider, guys. Okay, avoid products with harmful chemicals in there, as we also, so avoid those. We already know what those are: the relaxers, the chemical colors, your curly perms, like anything that we use that have chemicals in them. And then of course you want to make sure whatever you pick up, you want to read the ingredients very, very carefully. Okay, so make sure you are doing that. Read your ingredients on those products. And then for all of us that just aren't there yet, so there is no judgment here. So trust me, I am not judging nobody, because it took me my time to be able to, to get to that point where I was comfortable with not using the type of chemicals that I was using in the past. Okay, so I already know that it's easier said than done. It's not so easy to actually make that transition, especially when we were so indoctrinated to use those things and we just weren't aware of how harmful they was to us. We did not have the information. So I definitely have grace for those that are still using these chemicals. But what I would suggest is that you use them less often than you may use them. And that was one of the ways in which I eventually kind of got away from it. I gradually just took myself away from relaxing my hair as much. Like, I didn't do it like every, I don't know, 2 to 3 months. I kind of forgot like how it goes. If it was like every 2, put that down there, guys. Like, how often did you relax your hair? Like, was it like every month and a half, or every 2 months or 3 months? It's been so long since I had a relaxer in my hair, over 20 years, that I actually forgot the time frame. Is it every 6 weeks? I actually really forgot, guys. So put it down. I don't know what the time is. But anyways, whatever it is, see if you can stretch it out. See if you can use another hairstyle. Maybe put some cornrows in your hair, or like, or single braids, or whatever, to kind of give yourself a break from them chemicals. But also, guys, just like somebody had a couple of my lock stars wanted me to talk about the braids and how they're toxic and all of that kind of stuff. Don't worry, guys. I have not forgotten you guys. We are going to get to that. We are going to get to that. But I want to just go ahead and just like finish out this chemical series. And once this is done, I may do a live about the braids, and maybe a video. It just depends on how I feel. I may do the video, or I may go on live so that we can personally talk to it. And as a matter of fact, I might actually do a drive to the hair store and bring y'all with me. Okay, and just add that in too. So we'll get there when we get there, but don't worry about it. We're gonna talk about those braids too. All right. And hey, guys, keep this in mind, right? So for those of you out there who have fibroids or have any reproductive concerns, make sure you're talking to your doctor about your hair care routine. So if that includes chemicals, make sure you talk to them about that, because I don't recall ever speaking to my doctors about that, and they never spoke to me about that. So I don't think we were able to even get to that connection, that what we're doing to our hair would have been one of the reasons why we ended up like kind of developing the fibroids and all of that kind of stuff, and all those different things that may have interfered with our reproductive system. So Hey guys, so I mean, I know it's hard and all of that kind of stuff, but I want us to give ourselves some grace, okay? Because we did not know, we didn't have the information back then. We didn't, necessarily know that what we were doing was like super duper harmful for us. But you know what? Knowledge is power. So now we do have this knowledge about all of this stuff out here. How do they say, when you know better, do better, right? Okay, so we definitely know that, so we can actually make better choices about our crowns, what we are putting on our hair. And we have to remember that it's not just about our hair, fixing it, and what we're putting on it. We have to remember that it affects our whole health, especially with us as African American women. So literally what we are putting on our hair, the chemicals, all that kind of stuff, affects our bodies. So it's nothing that we can ignore anymore. Not if you want to move forward in a healthier way in the future. Okay. So guys, if you're learning something new today, hit like, okay? Like, share. So remember to subscribe to the channel. If you are new here, sorry, welcome to the channel, okay? Share this with your sisters, share it with your friends, share it with all of those that you care about and that you know that are actively using these chemicals and all that type of stuff, because it's going to be very important. If you have any questions or anything like that, please add them in the comments below, because we are here to help each other, help me, help you, help y'all, help everybody else, because we are a family over here, Lockstar family. So, we want to make sure that we're doing that. I try my best to try to educate everybody, and then just drop content that's just going to be really helpful for you guys. And so that's something I really, really like to do. Okay. So as always, just make sure you tune in to episode 4, where we will talk about, can you reverse the damage? Okay, so this is to where we're going to get into the healing part of it. Okay, guys, so that is good. That's going to be good news for us. All right, so anyways, thank you guys, Lockstars, for showing back up here. Okay, as always, sharing is caring, and I will catch you episode 4. I will catch you in the next one. I love you guys.